to Sheriff Tyrone Lewis, the inmates popped their locks open, escaped from their cells, and then tied a few sheets and uniforms together. It's the first holiday of the summer, and the Mississippi Highway Patrol is cracking down on DUIs. No license, no insurance, so it's best to buckle up and be prepared or face tickets or even possibly jail time. This story out of Edwards, Mississippi has turned into something like a circus. You have a police officer who's accused of using extreme force with a citizen. Now, as the shots were fired, someone moved under the car to try to take cover. The female was shot 3 times in the leg, while the male was shot 8 times. Job numbers are out and the U.S. unemployment rate rose in May, although companies added more jobs than expected. A spokesperson for the Hinds County Sheriff's Department says more than 30 arrests have been made since last weekend. Investigators say a 60-year-old woman shot her 50-year-old sister in the head. After shooting her sister, she then turned the gun on herself, but she survived. Tonight, she's in the hospital fighting for her life. Neighbors say they heard gunshots around 1:30 Monday afternoon and called police. Officers responded to a murder-attempted suicide in the 4500 block of Meadow Hill Road.
Both the victim was shot in the head along with the other female. There was also a dog that was killed in the process.
Hinds County Coroner Sharon Grisham Stewart says the victim's name was Melinda Pace. We're told Pace lived in the guest house behind the residence where she was shot.
I stayed right behind the house, you know what I'm saying? Just like a little corner over. It's just like right behind the house where they live at right there. And my auntie lived right here next to them. So ain't nothing, this the first time this has ever happened over on this side of town. So
officials tell us the fatal shooting victim suffered from mental illness.
It's unfortunate that this took place, especially with 2 sisters, along with a dog that was taken. So we're investigating, and our hearts go out to everyone involved.
Neighbors in the area who did not want to talk on camera say they knew Pace was troubled. One woman who was in the neighborhood association said Pace mainly stayed inside, but every now and then she would visit her neighbors and share her problems. Residents implied that domestic violence occurred in the past. For now, we'll send it back to you. Knowledge Carter Ducksworth, a unique name for a 2-year-old full of life and energy. His grandfather, Walter Ducksworth, says he lived up to his name.
She said he was acting like he was so smart when he came, you know, and everything. So that's what they stuck. He acted like he was a pretty smart baby, you know. So
Knowledge died in a suspected drowning in a bathtub at Cedar Crest Apartments. His mother stepped away briefly but came back and found him unresponsive. He was rushed to the hospital, but his grandfather heard reports that he was okay. And just when things started to look up, they took a turn for the worst.
the mother called this morning about what time? About 5 something? About 5 something to say he had passed away, so.
The toddler's grandmother, Betty Ducksworth, has this message for mothers and fathers.
When you bathe them, don't run the tub, don't run the tub half full.
Hinds County Coroner Sharon Grisham Stewart says there's some suspicion surrounding his death. She says he was taken to the hospital last year for almost drowning, but she doesn't know who was taking care of him at that time. Even though the pain for the family is unbearable, at least during his short time here, he left a mark on everyone he knew.
He always had a smile on his face. Very seldom you see Carter without a smile on his face.
An autopsy will be performed on Monday. For WLBT News, Deneisha Pearson.